Hi guys, this is Skittflash here, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man Battle Network 5. In the last part, our friends fell into a trap and now we have to save them. Don't know who, don't know how, don't know why, but that's a thing, and we have to battle viruses to get out of here. And fun fact about these viruses, they're actually EX viruses. Those are also a thing that exists in the world. For example, these guys hit twice instead of once, and they have more HP. There's many palette swaps of enemies in this game, to put it simply. But yeah, just keep that in mind. So those are the first encounters of them we have. The difference between them, obviously, besides being harder, is the chips they drop are usually a different letter. Like, let's say, this is just a theoretical example, like Metools will drop a chip A and B. They don't, but they'll drop A, and B, and then Metool EX will drop chips B and C. So yeah, so you can actually get more letters by fighting different versions. So if you're looking for if you're looking for a chip that with this like specific letter on it that you know exists and you just can't, for the life of you cannot get it, it might be because you're battling the wrong enemy. Just keep that in mind. And apparently there's earthquakes. That's like the worst time to be having earthquakes when they're trapped in a mine, but that's fine. I don't think there's anything in here anymore, but anywho's more doors and more viruses in said doors, so get used to that. And a guy behind a rock, that's not good at all. Or is it actually? Yeah, you know, that's not actually a bad thing, because I paused, or lagged out hard, don't know what that was. I didn't show it, but because of my incompetence. But Vulcan chips actually will hit the thing, will hit the thing behind your target, meaning that because we hit that rock, anything behind the rock would also get hit. So that's a thing you can do in case, like, you know, there's a rock. You can use Vulcan chips or lob chips. Obviously, I didn't show that correctly because it didn't quite work out the way I planned, but that is a thing that can happen. Yes, frequent earthquakes. These suddenly no longer look natural at all. So that's bad. Maybe there's something going on here. And what's wrong with them? Oh, they seem to be in trouble. That's not good. So we gotta, you know, kick it into high gear and save them, especially because the music's getting very repetitive at this point in time. I know I'm gonna have to be back here in this specific area, so I don't really need to jack in here. But I will anyways, because the chip you can get inside are pretty eh, to be perfectly honest. But we might as well just go straight here and get it. That's the wonder of having maps of the area, is that you don't have to scour around the entire place to know where things are, so that's nice. Gotta love my little guide. Seriously, I've had this guide for so long, it is so tattered. It's like, it's not even a book anymore, it's a collection of pages because like the glue that binded them together has worn off. It's ridiculous. Oh, okay. Fans, yeah, this is Windbox. There's Windbox and then Vacuum. These can actually be pretty annoying chips. Fans will make it so it always pushes you to the back, like the back of your row, or the back of your area. Meaning it's gonna be really hard to use sword chips and stuff like that, so be wary of that, because, you know, you don't want to be doing that. It has another form, Vacuum, that does the opposite. It just sucks you in, which is bad if you want to be in the back for whatever reason. Just keep it like pretty much. Typically, any enemies that that manipulate where you go on the stage can be kind of annoying. Those are usually stage hazards rather than enemies, but just keep in mind that's a thing, and you don't want that to be happening. The chips they drop actually let you do that for you, and I honestly have never found a good use for that. I know, like, let's say Vacuum plus Wide Sword would always be a good combination. But I'm just talking theoretically here, and there's, like, you know, a giant-ass earthquake and the mine's collapsing on our friends, and we should probably be paying attention to that, huh? Yes, I just realized what we're gonna have to be doing in just a few seconds. Oh boy, this looks important now, doesn't it? Okay, have fun with this. It's the CEO, what? I don't know what this is. Who goes there? Sounding so tough, huh, Len? And it's a lady. Okay. So what's up with her? She seems pretty mad. Stop that drill. Stop that drill. Please. He said the magic words. 29 years old, pay respects. Has stress to work out and doesn't care about your friends. If you're so stead on, and we have to stop this drill, and we have to do it ourselves by jacking into these 4 terminals. Doesn't that sound like absolute fun? Oh boy. So yeah, stop the 4 switches. Okay, so this is one thing I think Team Colonel has over Team Proto Man. Is that the character you encounter here is actually different. You encounter this princess girl, and she's actually like a nice person. I think like she's only doing this because the drill's gone out of control or something, if I recall correctly. And her navi's all like crazy because of like some magno metal or something, if I remember correctly. I rarely played Colonel, but I do think that character is cooler than this character, because she's kind of just, you know, potentially killing our friends for the sake of, you know, relieving stress, whereas, you know, cute kawaii princess girl is like, you know, just, you know, being innocent and whatnot. So this is our second dungeon. If you remember what I said about, you know, dividing this game into dungeons, there's always one of these. Get used to this. And this one is all centered around breaking rocks. Talk to that Mr. Program, and he will give you the rock breaking ability to break rocks. Yes. And there's still enemies, again. That's what makes this kind of shitty. Luckily, there's not much backtracking, so to speak. There is. Actually, I don't know what I'm even saying anymore. I'm not sure how I'm gonna orchestrate this. I'm just gonna hope that, that I totally just missed. Totally missed hard on the thing. But whatever, because Buster Up gives me 30. Yes, I totally did not mention this. Oh my gosh, the Navicust. What did we even do with the Navicust? This one makes our speed go up 1. That's kind of deceiving. You might think it makes us like so our walking speed gets faster. It's actually our Mega Buster speed, and what that means is that when you just mash B instead of charging, that becomes faster. Attack +1 increases your attack +1, which means we do 20 damage per charge instead of 10 damage per charge. And Undershirt, I always call it Undershot just out of habit, but Undershirt makes it so that you always survive with 1 HP. If you get hit with a mortal attack. It's kind of like, you know, Endure, stuff like that. So again, still green mystery, blue mystery dot. Invisible blank, That actually is a fantastic chip to have during any kind of difficult boss fight. But it's also one of those chips that are actually much more useful in Kernel than it is in Proto Man. So I'm not sure whether or not I'm actually going to be using it yet. When will I stop doing things wrong? Might as well get the counterattack on that, I suppose. No reason not to. But yeah, okay, so, I just kinda got bad luck with my chip selections. Usually these guys aren't that bad, the enemies I'm encountering, that is. At least I got 100 Zenny out of it. Because goddamn, there is no, like, that's consistently a problem. And HP memory, I'm getting a lot of that, actually. Okay, so this is a conveyor belt, this is another gimmick of the thing. If you fall off the conveyor belt, you will spawn in a place behind you, then you're gonna have to do the challenge again. So don't fall off for conveyor belts, don't get capped by rocks. That in turn make you, you know, capped by conveyor belts and whatnot. Sadly, we can't actually use, we couldn't actually use copy damage in that situation without only using 1 cannon. So sometimes maybe copy damage isn't always the answer, but it usually is. So yeah, make sure you don't fall. You pretty much cannot break those rocks. It takes like 10 punches just to break one of those solid black rocks. This is actually a problem with my emulator, in that sometimes like I'm facing bottom right, but he sometimes turns around to hit top left. I mean top right. I originally meant to say bottom left. I don't know what I mean, but you saw what I meant, and that actually becomes problematic. Occasionally. My throat's getting so dry so quickly. I was doing that in hopes that, like, you know... Oh, I still can, actually. I don't know what I'm even thinking. It's actually really easy to get counter hits on those guys. Like, pretty much as long as you hit them, like, while they're in, you know, iron form, you can get a counter hit on these guys. So the cracked gray ones take 2 hits to kill. And my throat's getting really bad, actually. Was there anything up here? There totally wasn't! Alright, so let's just stop this, and oh my gosh, you know what, I'm just gonna stop this drill right now. So the drill slows down, doesn't stop, that's not what I meant to say. I don't know how you programmed the drill to, you know, slow down at each one of these terminals. That seems so convoluted, it almost hurts, like my throat right now. So they're still dodging rocks. They're like moments away from death at any moment in time, and that's kind of scary. So we have to jack into the next control box. I will be doing that in a couple of seconds when I get stuff to not make my throat die. Got myself some water, so that's nice. And that keeps on happening. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of annoying, to be perfectly honest. So again, there's 4 areas: puzzle, dungeons. I guess this one's less puzzly. This one's more just dungeony. Sometimes there's like that. It's more like this one's more like an obstacle course than it is a puzzle. But it is something like this along these lines. There's always something you're gonna be having to do each and every single chapter. So just keep that in mind. So these are the drill guys. I was making these guys harder than they probably had to be. It's actually surprisingly easy to actually get the counter on these guys. Like they'll move really like swiftly. They'll do a little movement before they go out to attack, and then they'll actually try to attack you. Oh, charge plus 1. Let's actually get this in. Okay, again, charge plus 1 makes it so that your buster charges up ever so faster, unlike speed. I should probably visually show that, because it's much easier to actually visually explain than it is to try to wordily explain it. So the next time I get into a battle, I'll show you what charge and speed influence. And again, just kind of make sure you don't get died from those rocks. Airshot blank? No, all air shots are blank. I thought I could replace it with something else, but no. I should probably kill something first. I suppose I could. I don't know what I'm doing. And I totally didn't get the counter on this guy. Okay, so as you notice, when I'm charging the Buster Shot, it charges up a bit faster than it normally did. That's charge. But when I mash B like this, speed influences how fast you can actually shoot like that. You might have noticed we actually do 2 damage per shot now instead of 1, and that's because we have the attack plus 1. I typically don't really see the value in speed, mostly because I'm always just someone who charges all the time. But I guess, like, you know, if you're doing like 5 damage per shot and you have really, really fast shots, then it can actually be very useful, but just, that's not in my playstyle. I see a lot of, I remember seeing speedrunners do it, but I don't think so. Not for me. Just rearranging my, I totally did do that. Okay, cool. Luckily, I didn't know this, but copy damage even works when they're invincible. That's nice, because, I don't think I've showed this before, but Meteor EXs, well, actually, I've explained this, but I haven't shown it, but Meteor, oh my god, EXs will actually take turns being invincible, and will attack 1 at a time. So they're very odd in that sense. Luckily, everything they're giving me ever is pretty simple. And we got Zenny, oh thank god. So you can get Zenny from doing good on battles. Okay, cool, I didn't know that. And you get a lot of Zenny too, that's very nice. Maybe because they realize the Metal chips they give me I just do not want in the slightest. Just saying. Rock Cube, again. We're getting a lot of Kernel good stuff, but nothing really Team Protoman oriented. Like, really, like, hard. Like, even the drill chips, I cannot do that more wrong. But even the drill chips we've been getting, like from these guys, are actually something that are much more useful in Kernel than they are in Team Protoman. Have I gotten one of them yet? But yes, Drill Arm 1. I think these are the first instance of brake chips I've seen. Brake chips will pierce any kind of defense. You can notice by the big ball right there. What that means is that, like let's say there's a Metor, I am never going to get over that, or used to that. If there's like a Metor that is able to guard, then you can hit him even when he's guarding, and it's very nice. And we're going to stop this drill, and that's probably the last thing we're going to be doing for this part, I'd assume. Okay, so let's just do that. Come on, come on. Just show me how you're doing, Dex. Show me how you're running around. But at a slightly slower pace, the rocks are still falling. but you're still dancing for dear life. I wouldn't be surprised. Those are giant-ass rocks. So, now we're just going to move on to the next one, and we will be doing that next time on Let's Play Mega Man Battle Network 5. But until then, this has been Skittflash. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Bye!